know about that yet?
It was brought up.
Okay. Now that Finland has been ratified by all 30 member states, do you see a balance of power in the region or just another glorification of NATO and its resolve? You want to combine those two or do it separately?
Well, let's go to the first one.
Okay.
I'd like Adrian. What Russian efforts to stop NATO expansion are you talking about? I'm just curious. Russia has said that, sovereign states get to do sovereign things, with two exceptions: Georgia and Ukraine. That's it. They've never said that Finland couldn't join NATO. They never said Sweden couldn't join NATO. They said it would be dumber than dirt if they did. They said that there would be consequences if they did. But Russia never once said Finland can't join NATO. Never once. They never once said Sweden can't join NATO. So there is no failure of Russians' effort to stop NATO expansion. They simply said Ukraine can't be a member of NATO ever. And they're willing to go to war with it. That dates back to 2008. And they've also said the same thing about Georgia. To anybody in the Republic of Georgia listening to me right now, the best way for you to move forward in the future is to stop tying your future to the NATO military alliance. A, you're never going to be a member, ever, never, ever. B, we're going to make you think you're going to be a member. So C, you do really stupid things that get you destroyed by Russia. Because D, we don't like you. I hope you understand that. Your future is with Russia. Just like your past has been with Russia. NATO brings you nothing. What's your common border with NATO? Turkey? How long do you think Turkey's going to be a member of NATO? Do you see the trajectory of Turkey moving towards the EU or it's to China and Russia? Big hint, it ain't towards the EU because the EU doesn't want Turkey. There we go again. Don't you understand that this is Borrell's garden? You're not in it, okay? The garden is Europe. You're outside the garden. You're the jungle. That's the reality. You will never be part of the garden, ever. So, no, Russia didn't try to stop that. Now, what are the consequences? Well, just ask the Finns. What were you spending on your defense before you joined NATO? And what are you going to have to spend on your defense after you join NATO? Do you understand that Russia is now building up a 70,000 strong new army corps in the Karelian region? Because they now, instead of having this neutral nation on their borders, they didn't have to worry about now of openly hostile. Oh yeah, Finland, you're openly hostile because you joined NATO that's involved in a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine, the goal of which is the strategic defeat of Russia. Do you understand what you've done, Finland? You've sided with not only lunatics, but they're losing. What kind of stupid people? This is like somebody signing a contract, a one-year contract with a football team that's in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, losing 56-0. All right? NATO's lost this conflict. NATO can't afford what's about to happen from a fiscal standpoint. Europe is a sinking ship. So Finland, you just bought into the losing team. And now you got some Russians on your border. And not only that, you just turned yourself into a nuclear target. Yeah, I know, Finland. You didn't want that, but it is the case now. You're a nuclear target. It's just stupid. Sweden, all that wonderful economy you had. Now, if you want to become part of NATO, how much money are you going to have to spend to take your pathetic little small military and grow it into something meaningful? The same thing with Finland. Because your military is really pathetic. You can't fight. You don't have anything, but you didn't need to. But now you want to go up against Russia. You're bragging about extending the border, NATO's border, with 810 miles worth of border. Well, you can't defend the 810 miles. You don't want a war with Russia. Look at Ukraine. That's your future if you get a war with Russia. But we can add one thing: nuclear radioactive clouds. Because they're going to nuke you. So no, this is dumber than dirt. I I hope at some point in time, as NATO starts to fracture, that the Finns will reconsider and say, we don't want, and we're out. Prime Minister, they have an insane parliament. Maybe the Finnish people aren't insane. And when they start taking a look at the fiscal costs of this, it's not going to add up. Your security has not been enhanced by joining NATO. Your security has become orders of magnitude worse. So there, I think I answered those two questions.
I think you did.